Hi all and welcome back to a new video. And in this video we're going to start off our little, what it's going to be I think a 4-part series as we look to find some winners for this year's Aintree Festival, the 2018 Aintree Festival. I'm going to do 3 videos on the Thursday card, Friday card, Saturday card, and then one exclusively for the Grand National itself where I can go into more of the runners, because obviously 40 runner field, it's going to be difficult to squeeze that into a normal video. Anyway, so as I said, we're going to just crack on with, at the moment, this will be the Thursday card. It's on the Tuesday evening, so bear in mind that not all declarations have been made. They have been made for some of the big, for the 3 grade 1s, I think, but not all of them. So just, if there is a difference, if some horse it doesn't run, obviously, it doesn't run. But that's just how it goes. So we start off with the Manifesto Novices Chase, a fantastic way to start the Aintree Festival, as it always is, a 2-mile 4 grade 1 event, for which Brain Power heads the betting here at 7-2. But as you could tell from a 7-2 favourite, nobody really knows, and I'm prepared to take Brain Power on here at 7-2. His run in the Arkle was good-ish, but he was well beaten by Footpad, and I don't think there was that much to suggest that 2-mile 4 is going to really be his case. I think he is a 2-miler. I just don't think he's quite good enough on the track to deal with the top 2-milers. So I think they're in a bit of a rock and a hard place with him. Now, who's taking him on here? This seer name for Paul Nicholls. He missed Cheltenham, so obviously he comes here a bit more fresh. My worry with him is he just good enough? That's more my issue with him. Although records would suggest horses that haven't gone to Cheltenham have had a good record in this race. That being said, I'm going to stick it out. This is my last chance, but it is my last time siding with Finian's Oscar. He's also there at 4-1. Terrafort's here at 9-2. There doesn't seem, he's shorter in the betting for the 3-mile novice chase, so I'm assuming he doesn't run. And therefore Finian's Oscar is, I think, the only horse, certainly the only horse who did anyway okay in the JLT at Cheltenham over this distance. He stays the distance, which is a bigger thing than Brain Power, I suppose, a bigger kind of certainty. Now, Cheltenham run was okay. I thought it would be better, I won't lie. I thought he'd do well, but Colin Tizard's usually has a good record at Aintree, and this perhaps could be more to his liking. He won at this festival last year in the 2-mile 4 novice early. Looked like a world beater back at that stage. It's fallen to pieces over fences for him. But he's gradually, it was his first run back over fences after the hurdles mission last time out, so I can forgive him that run. At 4-1, I'm prepared to give him one last go. This could be make or break though for him. Each way was, I'm not really sure, because I'm not quite sure who's actually going to run. If he does turn up, I'd give Snow Falcon a decent enough chance at 16-1, up there with the top novice form in Ireland, coming 5th behind Monolith, but that was a packed finish. Album Photo in second there, he's won a grade 1. Invitation Only has run well in a grade 1 since as well. He was also there. Bon Papa's done well in a handicap. He was behind Snow Falcon. So there's a lot of form in that race. He was in the Irish Grand National last time out. That was always going to be a bit of a tough ask. He unseated at the 10th or something. He was a bit hampered as well while unseating. So I can forgive him that jumping blemish. And also, because he unseated at the 10th, surely he didn't have that bad a race. We then move on to the 4-year-old juvenile hurdle. And I'm very betwixt and between here, because I would have sided with Radishan, but obviously Radishan has been ruled out. And they don't... They can't split We Have a Dream and Alpa Shakira, the 2 Henderson horses at 2-1. And I do think one of them will win. The issue is which one. Because I've been keen to take on Alpa Shakira. But I do think Alpa Shakira is a better horse than We Have a Dream. I know We Have a Dream missed Cheltenham, and Alpa Shakira didn't run very well at Cheltenham, as I suspected. But I think Alpa Shakira could be her day to get back on track. I don't think there's much in here else that has chances of winning, if I'm being perfectly honest. I think the each way play is Nube Negra at 8-1. I thought he ran a crackerjack in the Fred Winter. You're most likely getting the 3 places. Yeah, there's 13 entries at the moment. or 12 entries at the moment. So hopefully they all go to post, and therefore you get your 3 places. And Nube Negra, I would hope, would come third. I do think We Have a Dream and Apple Shakir will most likely be 1 and 2. It's really up, like it's your own decision making as to who you think. But I will side with Apple Shakir this time out, having taken her on at Cheltenham. Move on quickly. Betfred Bold Chase. Don't think I'm going to mess around too much with this. I think Mike Boyce will win this. I know that's, I'm a genius. He's 8 to 13. I think he's going to win. I do though. Like, he ran very well. He actually ran better than I thought he would at Cheltenham on ground. He would have detested. This is a bit better ground. Also a furlong down in trip. I don't think he quite stays 3-2. But he stayed 3 mile 1. He stayed course and distance here last year to win the novice race, so I don't see why he shouldn't. Again, the slightly sharper track will help him as well. I think if we want an each-way play, I'm between Double Shuffle and T for 2. Maybe side with T for 2 actually. At 14 to 1. Last year's winner of this race now was a much weaker renewal because it was him and Q Card who fought out the finish. But I think T for 2 could run well here. Does like the track. He likes the slightly easier tracks. He runs well at Kempton. He runs well here. He doesn't run as well at Cheltenham and could run a big race. Although I wouldn't put anyone off a 10 to 1 each way bet on Double Shuffle. Although he isn't my each way selection. Move on to the Aintree Hurdle, and it's difficult. Like, it does look like this is the golden opportunity for Super Sunday to win a Grade 1. 2 mile 4, which probably suits. He's a very funny horse because he's run over 2-4 before and has looked a bit outpaced. But then you get people who crab that the horse doesn't. Oh, sorry, Super Sunday won the Irish Champion Hurdle. He's won a Grade 1. I've had a complete brain freeze there. So anyway, a chance to win a second Grade 1. But the people kind of crap that he doesn't quite get 3 miles, maybe. But I think the fact he won the Irish Champion Hurdle shows you he's got well enough speed to win a 2.5 race here. And he's not up against much here. The new one ran a stinker, was well behind him at Cheltenham. Lammy Surge, similar. My 10th are yours. He's admirable. He'll probably run his race. He's at 6 to 1. It's not much of an each way play, is it? I think just because I want to give you something a little more outside the box than tipping up an 11 to 10 favourite in the 6 to 1 each way, I think Super Sunday is the win bet at 11 to 10. I'll admit that. I think Cyrus Darius could run a bigger race than the 20 to 1 odds would suggest for Ruth Jefferson and Brian Hughes. I'm a big fan of Brian Hughes, as I've probably said before. And this horse is good. He's probably not Grade 1 level, but could he sneak into a place? Perhaps so. And therefore we'll give that one a go. Move on then to the Fox Hunters. A bit of a scrum. Like, I don't really know the Hunter Chase form that well. In fact, despite him running a stinker at Cheltenham, which I don't really know why, I think Wonderful Charm at 6 to 1 could be not a bad bet. Paul Nicholls seems to have a great record in these Hunter Chases. He seems to know the right type of horse to go hunting. And Wonderful Charm, he came second last year in the Fox Hunters before, I think, running poorly. He ran in the National last year, sorry, and he doesn't stay. But he didn't run much of a race at Cheltenham. I don't really know why, but perhaps the step back in trip. I know that helps the other two as well, Bell No Snow and Grand Vision, but Wonderful Charm should have that little bit more class if we're just talking on class sake. And my old friend On the Fringe, 10 to 1 each way, ran a much better race actually than the 9th placed position would indicate at Cheltenham. I thought he ran quite well, and give him one last chance. Not one last chance, but I think he's near the end. He'll be retired soon enough. So On the Fringe there at 10 to 1 could run a good race. We move on to the Red Rum Handicap Chase. It looks a difficult one, as per the usual. Again, this is one of these ones that it doesn't seem to have kind of completely, kind of finished declarations, because no jockeys have been booked for some horses, so I don't know whether that means they're running or not. If he is running, I think out of the kind of top of the market, I think King Socks at 8 to 1 is not a bad bet here. I think he ran very well in the Brown Advisory Plate at Cheltenham. Looked for all your money like he was going to win turning in. Perhaps he didn't stay. Like, that's what I'm kind of basing my argument on, and therefore the step back to 2 miles will suit. I think they like him as a horse. I think they thought he'd run well at Cheltenham. He did, but didn't win. Maybe this is the time he's going to pull off a big handicap win. The Pipe, usually a good Pipe horse, does have a big handicap in him at some stage. And I think squeaking in here off the bottom, if he gets in, is double W's at 11-1 for Ruth Jefferson and Brian Hughes, would you believe? Won this race last year. Since then has been really quite poor, if I'm being honest. But you've got to take the gamble that he's going to have been primed for a repeat win in this race. He's been off it for a little while. Freshen him up. A bit of better ground. Aintree likes it. Double W's 11-1. Happy days for an each-way play. The bumper, the mare's bumper, half of them don't have a jockey, none of the starting prices are in, but I still know who I'm going to back because it's one of my favourite horses in training. It is Getaway Katie May. Look at the form line. Second to Relegate. Relegate wins the champion bumper. Third behind Colreevy, comes 7th in the champion bumper. It's just form line upon form line upon form line. Tin Tangle was beaten 15 lengths in 4th, hacked up at Down Royal the next time out. Now Getaway Katie May here. Big jockey booking of Jamie Codd for this John Quealy mare. I think she's going to have a cracking chance. And otherwise, I know, again, you just don't know because none of them have jockeys, so I don't know whether they're going to run or not. If either of them ran, the 2 Elliott horses here, Tin Tangle, who I mentioned, and Black Tears, who ran very well in the Fairyhouse Sales bumper, but that would make me feel she's not going to come here. But anyway, Tin Tangle, if she came over, would perhaps have a squeak each way. But Getaway Katie May for the bumper. Anyway, that's the end of day 1. I will be back probably tomorrow evening with day 2. I'm trying to get them up so I have them recorded in advance, but unfortunately that does mean you slightly sacrifice some of the accuracy, but the fact the majority of my selections already have their jockeys booked and all that just should mean that they all should run. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a like and subscribe down below. Also, if you have comments about who you fancy for day 1, who you fancy for the National, pop them down below as well. All is welcome. Anyway, as always, best of luck.